They say the forest remembers every kindness, every cruelty, every soul that is foolish enough to enter the forest seeking what they do not deserve. This is the story of 3 women who learned that truth the hard way. Before the missionaries brought their foreign gods and whitewashed truths, there was a girl named Adanna in the village of Ude, and she was suffering. Not the kind of suffering you speak of in public. The quiet kind. The kind that seeps into your bones until you forget what it feels like to be whole. Her father married another woman after her mother died during childbirth. Her stepmother, Neka, was a master of that art. Cruelty that smiles, cruelty that hides behind calm voices and perfect manners. And her daughters, Chidinma and Uloma, were beautiful. Dangerously so, the kind of beauty that bends attention, that makes others forget their own worth. But beauty without grace is nothing more than rot wrapped in silk. Adanna has a scar across her face, a scar given to her by her stepsister, a scar so deep that it is like heaven had written across her face with lightning. One evening her stepmother Neka handed Adanna a cracked clay pot. Her smile, soft, sweet, was the kind that could hide a dagger.
Fetch water with this at the evil forest and make sure the broken clay pot is full before you come back.
Chidinma and Uloma laughed at her from the door. The compound went still. Every woman, every child knew what that meant. Ajo Ofia, the forbidden forest, the thin place, where the veil between the living and the dead trembles like a heartbeat, where spirits whisper and gods remember. Neka had spoken Adanna's death sentence with a smile. But Adanna, she said nothing. She lifted the pot, bowed once, and walked toward the blood-red sunrise, not out of courage, but because there was nowhere else left to go. As she walked farther away from the village to the evil forest, her body trembled. She rushed as she walked faster to fetch the water from the stream before it got dark. The moment she crossed into Ajo Ofia, the world changed. The air thickened, old, watching, alive. The trees leaned inward as though listening to her breath. Cold seeped into her bones, not from chill, but from being noticed. Something ancient was aware of her. Then she heard it. A faint sound, a soft cry. A bird, small and dying, its wings twisted, feathers dull with blood. She could have walked past, anyone else would have. But she tore a strip from her wrapper, her only cloth, and bound the wing and gently placed the bird on the ground. And somewhere, deep within the forest, something stirred. Something took note. Moments later, the ground shuddered. From the roots and soil, a tortoise emerged, vast and impossible, its shell carved with symbols that moved like breathing shadows. "Carry me," it said, its voice ancient and heavy as stone. "I am weak, thirsty, and old. I want to get to the stream to drink some water." She hesitated, then obeyed. She carried the heavy tortoise and started moving farther into the forest to the stream. Step by step, the creature grew heavier. The thorns cut deeper. Her legs trembled. Her blood marked her path. "Why help what frightens you?" the tortoise asked as her strength began to fail. "Because," she whispered, "to abandon what needs help would make me like them." The tortoise's eyes glimmered, and it vanished, leaving behind only silence. When Adanna reached the sacred stream, she fell to her knees, exhausted. After catching her breath, she took the pot and entered the stream to fetch water. The pot was leaking, every attempt to seal it. Mud, leaves, even her own blood, failed. The water mocked her with every drop lost to the ground. And she wept, not for herself, but for her mother, the woman who could no longer protect her. Then, all at once, the forest stilled. No wind, no insects, no sound. The water began to churn, and from its depths, she rose, Ala, the earth goddess, not glowing, not crowned, just present, as inevitable as gravity, as eternal as the grave, 7 feet tall, skin dark as the riverbed, white chalk tracing ancient constellations across her flesh, eyes that held the weight of every ancestor's memory. My daughter.
You were sent here to die. The forest tested you with fear, with pain, with despair.
The forest tested you with fear, with pain, with despair, and you chose compassion. She reached out and touched Adanna's face, not gently, but completely. And the world shifted. Adanna's scars vanished. Her rags became emerald cloth. Her beads glowed. But her power, it was not beauty, it was presence. The quiet strength of someone who had been judged and found worthy. Your stepmother sent you with a broken vessel, said Allah. I return it to you whole, filled not with water but with truth. Let those who seek what you have face the same test. Go home, my daughter. When Adanna returned in the morning, the villagers froze. She was radiant, calm, terrible in her peace. Even the elders stepped aside. Nika's ladle fell from her hand. Her daughters stared, faces draining of color. How can this be, Adanna? I thought she would have been dead, Nika whispered. Adanna met her gaze. No, I am well. That night, jealousy devoured Chidinma and Uloma. By dawn, they could bear it no longer. They cornered Adanna. Tell us how, they screamed. Tell us how the forest blessed you. Adanna remembered Allah's words. She smiled. Go to Ajo Ofia, she said softly. The stream will find you. Nika greedily gave her daughters 2 pots. Make sure you fetch the pots full and bring back many golds. They left before the sun fully rose, dressed in their finest, eyes burning with envy. Where Adanna had walked humbly, they strutted. Where she had prayed, they mocked. Where she had given, they took. And the forest watched. They saw the bird, lying on the ground with broken wing. Chidinma kicked it away, laughing. They met the tortoise blocking the way. Help me, the tortoise said. I am weak, thirsty, and old. Carry me to the stream so I can drink some water. Uloma spat on its shell. No, I can't carry you, I won't. And with each cruelty, the trees leaned closer, the fog thickened, the whispers deepened. When they reached the sacred stream, Allah rose again. But this time, her eyes were void of mercy. You defy what should be honored, she thundered. You destroy what you should protect. The forest trembled. You shall have exactly what you are worth. Your outsides will mirror your insides. And so it was. The sisters' beauty melted like wax under the sun, their skin cracked with marks of shame, their bodies bent under invisible weight, and upon their foreheads, Allah burned her mark, the sign of those who were judged and found wanting. They staggered back to the village, sobbing, broken. Even Nika screamed when she saw them, not from pity, but from horror. The villagers gathered around them looking in shock. Everyone understood. The ancestors had spoken, and the judgment was final. Adanna watched them collapse. She could have turned away, or smiled. Instead, she knelt. She poured water from her bronze pot, offering mercy they had never shown her. I cannot undo the Earth Mother's will, she said softly, but this will ease your pain. It's more kindness than you ever gave me. She stood. I am not you. Word spread, not of beauty, but of Adanna's good heart. Prince Chukwuma came, not seeking a bride, but an equal. When he saw Adanna, he bowed before her and asked her to be his queen. And she did. On their wedding day, the forest grew silent again, not in warning, but in witness. Even the air bowed. The ancestors approved. Years passed. When the young asked Queen Adanna to tell her story, she spoke truth, raw and unpolished. The pot of beauty cannot be filled by those who are empty inside, she said. The forest judges not your face, but your soul. The Earth Mother sees not your adornment, but your heart. She would pause, letting the fire crackle between her words. Show mercy when you have none left to give. Be kind when cruelty would be easier. That is when the ancestors are watching. That is when your destiny is made. Ajo Ofia still stands. The stream still flows. And Allah, the goddess, still watches. Patient, eternal, waiting, because the forest always remembers, and it always gives you exactly what you deserve. Nothing more, nothing less.